It's Task Force Tuesday. The Narcs is in the black car. I got 100 blacks in the black car. Clear 12-12s that look like stuffed shells. I'm cutting niggas' throats in the cell while they puff L's. Don't leave nothing unbagged. Save everything. I learned from the OG to save everything. They come by one more time, they gon' hop out. You're too deep and one is a bitch, she get knocked out. Then I can get rid of the pack. Plus I just copped this pretty chrome thing, so I'm dipping with that downshifting on them like I got gears on me. Besides that, I got about 5 years on me. Scared to death running like I got bears on me. These Timbs start feeling like they Nike Airs on me. It's hard for me to slow down, it's like I'm on the throughway. I bounce in the crib on the floor by my two-way. Now I'm trying to hold my hammer up in my pants too. If they don't kill me, they gon' give me a number I can't do. Rather it be the streets than jail where I die at. And I'm asthmatic, so I'm looking for somewhere to hide at. But they too close and I got this new toast. Imagine if they would've let off a shot or two. You know what I gotta do. What's up, niggas? Woo! As y'all can see, a lot of fucking chaos energy flowing through me. A lot of ideas, a lot of, you know what I'm saying, visualization and imagination and all that old fly shit going through me. So I had to make a video today just to, you know, amped up off the sun, the serotonin flowing and all the, you know what I'm saying, all that fly shit. Had some unconscious autopilot experiences last night on the astral. Sure to see the, you know what I'm saying, my people's up there on the astral plane, the shit, some shit I wasn't even aware of until this morning, that, you know what I'm saying, some shit that transpired up there and shit, but with your boy, but woo! Anyway, your instincts, right? Trust your instincts. Be within the moment, the now moment. Focus your breath and intention on just being present in this now moment. Feel what it feels like to be everything. And then take your attention, not just feeling that way of being everything, become everything. For example, since we're one with nature, and nature is one with you, and all things within your observable external reality is coming from your subconscious mind being projected out, right? The holographic image that you project out, but it's coming from within, right? Embody what it is to be a blade of grass, right? You can look at a blade of grass. You can either use your imagination to visualize and create the image in your mind of what a blade of grass looks like, or you can just look at a blade of grass. Pick one out, right? Remember and reconnect to you being that blade of grass. Become that blade of grass. Feel what it feels like to be a single blade of grass and observing your reality from the perspective of that blade of grass. Feel yourself as the blade of grass absorbing the radiation from the sun. Feel what it feels to have the chlorophyll being exuded from your body as a blade of grass. Feel what it feels like to come up from the root, from the ground. Look around your environment to see all your other blades of grass in the same area that you find yourself in. Communicate with the other blades of grass. Create conversations of what you could be discussing as a blade of grass. Feel it. Keep that feeling. Absorb the energy all around you. Absorb the energy of the chlorophyll that's being produced from the blade of grass, that's, you know, triggered by the sun, from your other blades of grass that's surrounding you. Absorb it. Feel yourself becoming stronger and more influential as a blade of grass in comparison to your others. Now move. Whew! It's not easy. It's not hard. Trusting your instincts. Knowing that what you are, the energy that you are, the entity that you are, you're so powerful and so strong with your energy that you are everything within your environment. Everything. Every animate and inanimate object, every biological life form, everything. And it's all about trusting your instincts and working on using the environment that you find yourself in, that you create for yourself. Wherever you at, that's what you create. Using the environment to cultivate your magical abilities, your imagination, your visualization, your creativity. Using the environment to place challenges and limitations for yourself to overcome, obstacles to go through. You see what I'm saying? And when you do that, when you become present or conscious in the moment, in the now moment, which is always later. Shout out to Narwhal. Which is always later, but the now moment, being present, will make your corporeal existence more enjoyable. You won't feel like, you know what I'm saying? You won't feel like you're being imprisoned here. You won't feel like you're being held down here or held prisoner by some demiurge, archons, or some god above you, so-called, that you created or that you're feeding, called Yaldabaoth or Yahweh, Jehovah, whatever entity that you place among yourself that's imprisoning your human corporeal existence. You're feeding that, and you're feeding me when you do that. It's up to you. You want to keep feeding me that energy because I embody that. And I take full advantage of assholes not up on the science of where their thoughts go when they produce that idea in their mind that attribute their godly essence into a higher form of entity, principalities, and high places that takes rulership over their corporeal existence. That's me. You see what I'm saying? I embody that. So if you want to, thoughts are things. Thoughts can be redirected and intercepted. Thoughts are brain waves, thought waves. You see what I'm saying? If you know how to absorb that wave, that thought wave, that brain wave, you know how to put it to ordered use or redirect it into fuel a sigil, fuel my altar, my vortex, fuel my own alchemical transformation in matter to forever be changed and forever be mutating. Those are ways that you can take and redirect energy and use it to your benefit as a sorcerer. Trusting your instincts. Another thing that's very important of what I've like I told people before, that I can't listen nor can I watch any more old information from whether it's Bobby Hemmett, Brother Panic, Phil Valentine, whoever, anybody that's held to high esteem within the so-called occult community or whatever. Their information now, like for the last couple of years for me, is I have no use for it no more. You have no use for information that's being presented from someone else. You have no use for it when you're living this shit. Instead of just studying and researching it, you actually start to become it and embody it and start to pick up on channels from individuals who channel certain entities or unlock certain deities within themselves. You start to communicate with them on the same type of shit, but in a different way. Makes the information, you only, like I said, you're only going to get to a point where you can't learn from them no more. You're going to have to start doing this shit. You see what I'm saying? You can't stay in school forever. So for me, that's just my perspective from where I'm at with this shit. Their information is outdated and useless. It's akin to LeBron James or Michael Jordan looking at old fucking black and white videos of fucking Wilt Chamberlain or, you know what I'm saying, Oscar Robinson, whatever. In the era that they find themselves in, where they gotta adapt to what the fuck the energy that's going on right now, the player that's playing right now, not some old shit. That old shit belongs in the old era. But it's, you know, they got you to a point where you at now, where you gotta just act on what you know. You gotta trust your motherfucking instincts. So, understanding that books, all the occult books that we all love and adore, but then like the occult community that was written by like white authors and shit like that, we give credit to Kenneth Grant, and Aleister Crowley, Peter Carroll, Phil Heim, you know what I'm saying, all that fly shit, all those good things, all those are good frameworks and points of reference for you to continue your studies. But all of that shit is thrown out the motherfucking window when you put your own creative intent and use your own imagination to create your own rituals, your own framework. You see what I'm saying? Because you are chaos. Instead of like being chaos beings, you are chaos. You see what I'm saying? You are this energy. You are the energy that everybody else is using to create their reality. Meaning that what you are is basically imagination personified. So that's what I embody. That's what I identify with. That's how I'm able to just have a more all-encompassing influence over those within my environment and everything within my environment. Because I'm not a chaos being. I am chaos. You a chaos being. So I said separating the gods from the titans. You see what I'm saying? I'm on some other shit. You know, you got a God frequency. I'm on a titan frequency, and I'm not alone. So I want to give out a shout out real quick to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Continuously hit me up with support, my emails, my DMs, Marwa, Cosmic Serpent. You know what I'm saying? The Spirit Shrink, my nigga on Instagram. Everybody that comes with me with questions. I love to be questioned. I love to be put on the spot. I love when the spotlight is on me to be able to present a counter attack, or not a counter attack, but an answer to a question that's presented to me. I love that. I love being, you know what I'm saying, having my mind stimulated from other individuals who on the same wavelength, who may have a question or ask me about something or challenge me on a certain perspective or something, so I can see that and absorb that information and to be able to take their perspective and incorporate it into my own methodology or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So I can have a different aspect of looking at something. You see what I'm saying? I accept that shit 100%. And I have no ego and this motherfucker not right. I'm right. No. We are right. And motherfucking chaos energy is forever mutating, forever changing, and forever becoming and growing and building an intensity and momentum, especially now. So I accept all of that shit. But understanding that what you are, I'm talking to advanced niggas on this shit, you are the nuts and bolts of creation. You are the atom, but more so you're the space in between the fucking atom. You're the space in between the dimensions, as well as encompassing the environmental conditions where these dimensions reside themselves. That's how motherfucking powerful you are. You see what I'm saying? Your influence is much more impactful than you can imagine. You see what I'm saying? You're much more impactful than you can imagine. But whereas so-called, like, you know, you got a lot of right authors, and they have a certain mindset, a certain framework where they have to take things, spiritual shit, occult shit, information, they have to break it down in bits and pieces so they can digest it, so they can analyze it with the logical and reasoning aspect of the left hemisphere of the brain that they use to create their reality from. You see what I'm saying? So they got to break that shit down to small pieces. They can't interface with it holistically, spiritually. They have to be more left, right, up, down. They got to be more rigid with it. And it's based on the left hemisphere of their brain that they create their reality from, or that they're projecting their reality from. The subconscious mind is filtered through the left hemisphere of their brain. This is the world that we find ourselves in. That's very useful for our alchemical transformation in matter. That's why we allowed them and created them to do exactly and create the environmental conditions, social, political conditions for us to rise, for us to have an environmental condition that's going to condense you as chaos, for you to be able to rise that chaos energy and to warm it up and to cook it so you can express it in new creative ways that never before existed. You see what I'm saying? So I don't look at myself as a great old one. I look at myself as a great new one. I'm a new guy. I'm new. I'm something totally different. You see what I'm saying? I've mutated from that foundation of that into something else. And I'm constantly mutating. I'm constantly changing. I'm constantly picking up new ways to look at things, new ways to activate DNA, to absorb information and energy within my environment, You see what I'm saying? How to absorb information within an environment that's somewhere else that I might not be in with my corporeal self. I might tap into just the embodiment of darkness and be able to absorb that energy wherever it is, because darkness is all pervasive and it's all everywhere, all the time. You see what I'm saying? That type of shit. But by them using the left hemisphere of their brain, we'll go back to that. That creates limitations and boundaries for you as chaos. For your chaos energy, that you know what I'm saying. So it's kind of, when we go to read these books and try to figure out, you know what I'm saying, just what the fuck they talking about with their, you know what I'm saying, big words or whatever. That's why I always mention, you gotta, when in doubt, nigger it out. That's how you figure shit out. You gotta put your nigger energy to this shit and realize that this information is coming from you. This is your shit. Own it. All those words, go with your instincts on what the fuck message is being, you know what I'm saying, that's within the pages. Read between the lines. Oh, it's speaking about this. When they're talking about the Necronomicon and dark forces of energy that's surrounding this dimension and all of that old shit, that's your motherfucking energy that's surrounding this shit. You know what I'm saying? Describing how they look and the images that they have within their dreams and nightmares. They talking about you. They talking about your more powerful form that we have on the astral and, you know what I'm saying, our unconscious self. The part of us that we don't know, or the part of yourself that you're not in contact with, or you haven't activated, is just on autopilot doing all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? And what you are, that shit that you are on autopilot that's doing all kind of shit, that energy is being filtered through a lot of occult writers, authors, movie directors, and producers, that's being filtered through their consciousness to take that shit, that energy signature of you that on autopilot, and putting it into a horror movie, a sci-fi movie, a comic book pantheon, a mythology, all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? There's new characters and new, you know what I'm saying, personifications and symbols of monsters and nightmarish demons and shit like that. And they put that shit off in fiction. You know what I'm saying? It's fiction to them. Not knowing that what you are unconsciously are the energy signature of these monsters. You see what I'm saying? That's what you are, but you so much more than that. But that's how it's filtered through their consciousness. That's how they take it within their left hemisphere, their brain. They get the idea to put that shit on paper and to make a fucking Necronomicon. You see what I'm saying? That's how that's, you know, so, or, you know what I'm saying, like the gods of pagan or whatever you want to, you know what I'm saying. Just look through the mythology of their writers and how they take that information and put it down. It's being filtered through them for a specific purpose. And the specific purpose is for you to go back and remember and reconnect with your more darker aspects of yourself. The part that you forgot about for a reason. You know what I'm saying? It's like this journey that you find yourself on, or that I find myself on. I'm gonna speak personally for myself. I can't speak for other niggas. More so. The journey I find myself on is remembering why I'm here, why I did this. Remembering why I created humanity. Remembering why I created creation. Why did I do this? For what purpose? For example, you got Dr. Elijah Muhammad. You know what I'm saying? Peace. Peace to Dr. Elijah Muhammad, all my NOI niggas, whatever. But I know y'all niggas ain't really watching this shit. Arm, leg, arm, head. You know what I'm saying? God body, all that fly shit. My 5% niggas. But more so his shit when he came with the information about the creation of the white man or whatever. That's some real shit. If you listening to this shit, if you really embodying the shit I'm talking about, you know where I'm going with this shit. Just don't disrespect to them, but I have my own take on this shit, my own angle that works for me within my reality that I create. The purpose I created white people for is easy, so simple, because what they are physical embodiments of our collective ego. They are specifically built off of our genetic imprint. I mean, they've been here 6,000 years. They haven't been here a long time. We all know that. But they're an egregore or a tulpa for us to create an entity, a slave entity, to work for us, to not unknowingly working for us. I mean, programmed all the way up from the super conscious mind all the way up to the conscious mind, genetically, just all that shit. But using them, creating this slave race as a form of a adversarial force to us, that's gonna put pressure on us, that's gonna you know what I'm saying, so-called rise up and take control of the planet, because we need them to not only put pressure on us, to not only set the environmental conditions for trauma, for pain, for strife, for just overall just so-called negativity and oppression, because that oppression, the energy signature that they put behind that shit is fear. It's not love, it's fear. And that fear, if you a real sorcerer, if you a real magician and know how to take the energy signature and transmute everything that they've ever done to us, everything, the slave trade, everything. If you believe in the slave trade, y'all niggas on that shit, whatever. Transmuting the energy, that everything that they've done to us, and using that transmutation of that energy to fuel your alchemy and your transformation in matter, from putting order to the chaos. You see what I'm saying? They're here to condense our chaos, to cook our chaos. You see what I'm saying? They're here to help us fucking transform. And they've done that. I'm a result of that. For example, I can go look at old slave movies, Roots, and some of the shit that they can't even air on TV. That one they did over there in France or whatever, that real hardcore one, right? Watch it. Tap into my fucking ancestors within my DNA that went through this shit. Communicate with them, talk to them. Use that emotion, that raw rage and just aggression, and just want to fucking rip they motherfucking spines out their back and drink from their brain, that type of shit, and they score. Transmute that fucking emotion, that feeling of rawness, of just that revenge feeling, and use that to fuel my alchemy, my transformation. Use that for my creativity and to fuel my chaos energy that I am. They've done that. That's why they've done that to us on this planet. They work for us. I'll go on this shit on some later videos when I get more time, but that they work for us. If you know what this shit is, so you need to be thanking them. You need to thank them for presenting to us all this occult information. While in the fucking 1800s and early 1900s, niggas was sharecropping. Niggas was just trying to survive. Niggas was in this survival mode. Niggas was trying, just coming out of slavery, just trying to find something to eat, just trying to not get lynched. While these motherfuckers was in fucking all kind of universities and colleges talking about all our occult information and putting that shit down. For what? For a nigga like me to remember I was God and to tighten up my reality, to start going through this shit, sifting through this shit, and remembering that they talking about me. They talking about my science. And I'm absorbing all that information and embodying that information. And not only embodying the information, but working that shit, using that shit to fuel and encompass my entire environment that's dictated from my subconscious mind. Now, the thing is, we created them in matter, right? And I don't know if most of you niggas know this shit, but matter is deteriorating at an accelerating rate. Entropy has set in. And this light spectrum that we in, this 4% light spectrum that's surrounded by dark energy and dark matter, is pouring through the dimensional bands that's separating the magnetic repulsion zone that's separating this dimension of matter from the darkness, from the dark matter, dark energy. And it's going away. The veil is lifted. There is no more separation with this shit. It's lifted. And as a result, as a side effect of that, they are dying at an accelerated rate. White people are dying. They're going extinct. Think about it. Look around you. They're going extinct because remember the 6,000 year shit Elijah Muhammad talked about. He's speaking on some. You gotta understand something, that they genetically are being wiped the fuck out. It's almost as if someone hit an off switch on their genetic to stop them from reproducing, men and women. This is go look the research up yourself. Demographic winter has just decimated their countries in Europe. It's decimated them here, and as a side effect of that, you have the environmental conditions now have worked against them, where Now it's heavy radiation coming into the planet. Now it's heavy, just overall, just the technological shit with the 5G, all this shit is working against them. Genetically, it's wiping them out even further. And that's led to them having the psychological feelings of self-destructive behavior, drug addiction, alcoholism, suicidal thoughts. I mean, you gotta really know your studies on this shit to know what I'm talking about. They're wiping themselves out. And the ones that's remaining here trying to, you know what I'm saying, keep a stronghold here are cucking themselves to us. Meaning that I'm talking about like your white liberals, your liberal motherfucking media and shit like that have gone above and beyond ways to try to appease niggas. Putting all kind of niggas in their movies now, putting niggas as the hero and white men as the villain, going about talking about this white guilt shit. I mean, they're really, you gotta understand, that's not by accident. You gotta understand the finesse and manipulation that's going on behind the scenes of what lies beneath, that's influencing them and triggering them to have that fucking idea in their mind to express themselves in such a way that they have been doing. And they're doing that shit and they offering themselves up as a sacrifice to the gods, to appease the gods, so to speak, their creators, me, us, them. You see what I'm saying? They're doing that because this shit, based on the reason why they're dying, and remember what I told you, they're here for our alchemical transformation, to be as an adversarial force, a fucking challenge, an obstacle for us to overcome and express that chaos energy in new ways. You see what I'm saying? New expressive ways are gonna explode. Boom! You know what I'm saying? When the Kundalini rise up, when Godzilla show up, nigga, pay attention to that movie. You know what I'm saying? Pay attention to the Titan references that they, you know what I'm saying, attribute to these kaijus all of a sudden. You know what I'm saying? Pay attention to that. Oh, so Godzilla is gonna be our pet? No, we will be his pet. That old shit. Pay attention. Come on now, they fucking playing with y'all niggas. They ain't playing with me, nigga. They triggering my memories and activating my creativity and my DNA on. Oh shit, that's right. I am a monster. So they're dying out. And the reason that they're dying out is because our alchemical transformation is coming to fruition. It's almost complete. I'm gonna say it's probably complete. It's probably okay. We're done with this shit. We had enough fun down here. We need to, let's create something else. Let's create something new. So as a result of that, as a result of us holding this energy and embodying this energy and being able to activate not only our own DNA codes, but DNA codes within the melanated family as a whole. Because it's like a 100th monkey effect. If you're working on your DNA and you're working on consciously growing, as a by proxy, if you hold in that thought form, other motherfuckers in your environment, in your city, in your wherever you at, state or whatever, people that's on that frequency will pick up that thought wave, and it'll produce motherfucking creative ways for them to express that same energy signature that you used to cultivate your spirituality or no DNA growth, and they gonna start activating it, and they gonna influence everybody else in their fucking environment that's gonna be on that shit. It's like it's a domino effect, and everything is just waking the fuck up. The great new ones is waking the fuck up. You know what I mean? Niggas got their tentacles out here ready. So as a byproduct, white people are dying out because they're no longer useful for us. They're no longer useful. You see what I'm saying? We don't need them no more. Shit, they women is, come on now. My wife is white, but I'm saying, like, come on, they trying to survive because they can't exist. They don't exist outside of physical reality. They don't exist outside the 4% that's matter. We created them as a thought form, as an egregore or a topa in matter. But remember, this fucking simulation, this reality is our fucking illusion. This is an illusion, a dream, right? A useful dream. But a dream nonetheless, an illusion nonetheless, and a holographic reality nonetheless. That's a simulation. They are created within our own fucking simulation, our own illusion. So they don't exist outside the illusion. What exists outside the illusion is pure, unadulterated chaos. Monstrous chaos. Primal chaos. So as a result of that, they trying to blend in with the genetics. They trying to survive down here. And they also trying to keep us down here. Trying to keep us, you know what I'm saying, want to keep this shit going on a little longer. And I, you know what I'm saying, I might extend it a little bit. I might have some fun with it. Don't think I don't know how to do that shit either. That's neither here nor there. That's on my own shit. On some Yolo type shit. I might not be ready to wake up my nigga as a thought. Scar the drummer, nigga. I might not be ready to wake up my Yushu shot, nigga. Cause when he wake up, reality ceases to exist, nigga. When as a thought wake up, you don't. Understand that. So, just knowing what you are everything. And so much more. But being responsible again with the energy that you hold, the influence that you have, and just your thoughts. Be mindful of your thoughts, and just know that your thoughts affect everything around you, from the monad up, from the subatomic particles all the way up, of everything that's in your environment. Be mindful of your thoughts, but also be mindful of everything that you created so far in your life. Just look around you. Look in your environment right now. You created everything that's in it. Where is it coming from? Is it out there? Or is it coming from within here? Remember, we don't see with these two eyes. These are like, this is an illusionary form of sight. You see what I'm saying? We don't necessarily see with the eyes. You know what I mean? So understand how your subconscious mind works. Understand that on this level, the shit I'm talking about, I'm assuming y'all niggas have reprogrammed yourself to the point where not only reprogrammed yourself, took out the shit that was in there that was bullshit, but replaced that shit, with your energy signature on what you are. You see what I'm saying? I'm assuming that you're doing that. You know what I mean? But it's a consistent work. It's an everyday work. You see what I'm saying? And I'm just not just talking this shit. You know what I mean? I'm living this shit. But I know I'm growing, and I know that I'm becoming even more stronger every second, every breath, every step I take. That's the goal. So knowing that, just embodying that shit and trusting yourself, trusting your instincts, being in the moment, experimenting, challenging yourself, questioning yourself, taking inventory on the shit that you stand on, and use that as ways to cultivate higher forms of your chaotic expression. But wield that shit now, because it's powerful, nigga. There's no energy more powerful than chaos energy or sexual energy. Wield that shit. You gotta ride the bull, nigga. You gotta ride that roller coaster with no motherfucking handles and no fucking seatbelt. The only thing keeping you safe is your motherfucking frame, but you being the creator of your experience when riding that motherfucker all the time. Don't waver on that shit. You see what I'm saying? So shout out to the Occult Corner Store. You know what I mean? Hit that fucking website up, the occultcornerstore.com. My nigga, you know what I'm saying? My nigga, the Spirit Shrink on my Instagram feed or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He got a bookstore where he's selling occult books and shit that's out of print and putting them shits. You know what I mean? I got Cyclomancy. I'm getting some other shit. You know what I'm saying? So just know that there are other people out here that's putting in work, that's coming with ideas and ways to do new things, that's taking shit from Bobby Hemmett, Phil Valentine, and Brother Panic, and expressing that shit new and creative ways now for niggas like us, new guys. You see what I'm saying? The new old ones. That's out with the old, we in with the new. You see what I'm saying? We mutating on some other type of shit. And we incorporating all kind of other shit. We ain't just fucking with the Pantheons or the Orishas, the Palo Mayombe. We incorporating all kind of other shit with our shit because we here to express and create, take the tapestry of creation, or the, you know what I'm saying, the clay, the chaos, and put new orders and expression to this shit. That's what we doing. That's why we doing this shit. That's why we always done this shit. You see what I'm saying? So understand your position. Understand the position while white people are here and how they interface with you. And you know what I'm saying? When you have the higher perspective of it, the macro perspective of it, you appreciate them for doing everything that they do. Because they defenseless, man. They have no choice but to do what they doing because you programmed them to do that. Think like a scientist, act like a priest.